Hello and welcome to this small podcast. I'm your host today, Sean, and today with my co-host, I'm here with Waylan.
Hey, what's up?
Other co-host, Tshiamo.
Was good.
Alright. So this is the first episode of the podcast, and we have two topics today. We're going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Unpacked event and Formula One this weekend. The results have just come in, and we know who won the race. And we're going to speculate about what's going to happen from then on. So let's get started. Samsung Galaxy Unpacked.
So, the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. These are two completely amazing phones, but one thing I don't get is in the past, Samsung made the S6 and the S6 Edge, which had very similar specs. It's just that the Edge had, well, the Edge, it's self explanatory. But
Mm.
now, what they do is they have their entry level flagship and their top tier flagship. But what they do is with the top tier flagship, they tend to have the highest specs that you can possibly get. And then they
Mm.
have the lower end stuff, but also high end in the smaller phone. So in the Note 20 Ultra, the screen spec is a 6.9-inch AMOLED display, which is also 1440p, and the camera array consists of a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 108 megapixel wide angle camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, and a laser autofocus sensor, which also includes a 50x super resolution zoom, which is going to be amazing for far distance shots. And then it comes with 12 gigs of RAM. Usually, the highest is 16 gigs, which I feel like is a bit too much because,
Overkill
yeah,
already.
it's honestly overkill because most desktops nowadays they only come with about 8 gigs, or 16 gigs is seen as enough, right? But now in a phone, you're not necessarily doing what you would do on a desktop. So
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me, it doesn't make sense why they include that. But then again, there are power users. There are people that use their phones like computers.
True, but I feel like okay, besides 12 gigs of RAM, I think we all know that's overkill. I feel like they're just like flexing how big their takes are at this
Yeah,
point.
pretty much.
Because
Yeah.
like you said, like no one's gonna use it. But even then, like with the power users and like the enthusiasts, even the enthusiasts don't really want to spend because the new one starts at 1300 US, right?
Yeah,
And in SA that's gonna cost what, like 30K
probably.
almost when
Yeah.
you if you're going to buy in
No,
cash
way
if you
more. The the
more
the,
than
the
you think so.
S20 Ultra costed
Yeah.
like 34K. So I
Oof.
imagine
Yeah.
this is
So
gonna cost like even
in
more.
SA, it makes no sense. Even if you're
And
an
the worst part,
enthusiast,
it's
I'm
gonna
not
be
gonna
for the
pay
Exynos.
exactly. Yo, we're not even getting the Snapdragon. I always forget about that.
I
And
don't
that,
understand why Samsung pushes their like inferior processor. Like nobody wants it.
I think they push it, especially outside like the US and whatever, is because number one, it'll be cheaper for them
yeah,
using their own in-house processor, and then secondly, people won't know.
true.
Yeah, to be
Because
honest, like most people don't even realize
Yeah,
like
bro. Like, how many of our friends do we know that have these phones and they don't know the difference?
yeah, very
bruh.
true.
And honestly, I feel like the Note 20 should have been the S20. Like the way it looks and everything, the S20 they were
Mm.
like pushing that like Apple level premium phone.
Uh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, why didn't you just do the Note 20 just without the S Pen?
Yeah.
I get you. That makes sense. But like, I don't know. I guess it makes sense in the end.
Speaking on the S Pen, they actually revamped it, so now the latency is a lot lower than what it was. So I guess
Yeah, I saw that.
that helps for like productivity.
Okay. Then again, at the same thing. Like, okay, I see with the note. I feel
Yeah.
like again, like what Tiamo said, where they have the note is the S phone
Hmm.
because they're basically the same, really, and you could just have the S phone and have the Note phone, and you don't have this whole Note Ultra thing, and you have the S10 Plus thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of added complication. And I get that they want to try and appeal to everyone. So okay, I want the flagship, but I can't afford the flagship, so I'm gonna buy the baby flagship. It's
Yeah.
just it's this whole it's so granular that it's so stupid, and that's also another big problem that happens with Android and why it can't compete with iOS
Yeah.
because
True.
it's just so there's all these little layers that are so unnecessary, and you have this
I'm back.
discontinuity between every phone.
Yeah. True. And there's also like a vast amount of phones on the market that ship with Android.
Hmm.
Speaking
But
of,
hey,
Yeah.
why doesn't Pixel have like a proper flagship phone? I feel like they're the only ones who can challenge like what's this? Apple and shit, you know?
Yeah.
the thing is, I feel like the Google doesn't know how to make a flagship, and they're going to fail at making a flagship. But if you look at the Pixel 4a that just came out, it's
Yeah.
an amazing mid-range phone, and all of their mid-range phones have always been good. If you look at the first Pixel, it was like a mid-ranger. It was an excellent phone.
Hmm.
The 3a was an excellent phone, and now the 4a is like it's one of the best mid-range phones because if you look at the mid-range phones that are out now, you have the Nord, you have the iPhone SE, and then you have this. And if you want a really good mid-ranger, it's like one of the best options you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
Seriously.
except,
get
well,
it.
yeah,
I feel like they should like at least try or like go for like the upper mid range and slowly work their way up. You get me? Kind of like
yeah.
OnePlus did.
I feel like they're gonna give up on the whole flagship thing because even if you look at the markets lately, no one's really buying the flagships, and the market that's growing now is the mid-range, and that's where you also see most of the competition, which is why I think OnePlus now has decided, oh, okay, let's go out with the Nord. Samsung is also pushing heavy with the A51 and everything, the A71. We have the iPhone SE. Like the mid-range market is lit now.
Yeah,
So
but I feel like what's this? You need a flagship, like not to make sales, but more like to like say this is
For
what we've got, and you
marketing.
can have the baby version of it. You
Yeah.
get me? I mean,
I
if the
don't think
SE
so
was the
because
iPhone,
yeah,
nobody would really be that interested in Apple. I feel, you know, you get the what's this? The SE because it's like, oh, it's iPhone, and you associate iPhone with like, you know, the 11, you know.
yeah. But I feel like if you're looking for a mid-range phone, you're not really looking for clout. At least that's my view.
Yeah.
You're kind of looking for a
Tell that to
decent
people
thing.
buying the SE
No, but I feel like even with the SE, it's like, especially like in the US, it's more of a.
market.
It's not the market. Like Apple, let's face it, most of their sales are probably going to be in the US, and these phones are being given to a bunch of teenagers. And some people can't afford it, but all their friends have it, and they get peer pressured into buying an iPhone and just having the Apple thing. So you have your blue bubbles because they use a lot of texting. It's
Yeah.
very important to them.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And I feel like anything with the Apple logo comes with the cloud because it's going to turn heads.
Exactly. But then again, also the camera. But then if you want a good camera, you don't really have to go for the cloud option because now you have the 4A. And I don't know if you guys have seen the comparison images,
Yeah.
but like you, the 4A, the Google just their processing and everything is just absolutely amazing. They've knocked it out the park this year.
As they always do.
True, very true.
Because, I mean, for the past few years, Google has been killing it like in the camera game. Like, no matter what Apple comes up with, Google always tends to one up them.
All right, what do you guys think about the rest of the things released, like the Galaxy? What? Not the Beams. I know the name, but I can't remember now. The new
The buds.
headphones, which is supposed to be, yeah, they're not the buds. They have a different name for them. It's
Oh,
very stupid. I don't know if you've seen them. They're noise canceling. They're not like proper in ears.
Okay, I'm just looking them up quick. Buds Live X.
The Buds Live, yes, the X Live, whatever.
But
What
it's
have
called
you
Red
guys seen anything
Bulls.
on them, or should we skip through that?
I actually haven't seen anything on them.
Okay. Well, I don't. I haven't seen any reviews or anything, but so they look okay. I like the new thing Samsung's doing with all the rose gold kind of
Yeah,
look. That's nice, the copper kind of thing. But otherwise, the design of the buds looks stupid. Number one, number two, they're noise canceling, but don't go in your ears. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say on it for now because I can't really say much. But yeah,
they actually look like hearing aids. Like I'm looking at them
yeah,
right now and they actually look like hearing aids.
yeah. Seriously, we're back. Trying to get into the Formula One. The results have just come out. What do you guys think? Verstappen number one, Hamilton in second, and Bottas in third, which pretty typical. Let's face it. Except Mercedes didn't get a 1-2. It's a 3-4. But uh,
3-4.
I mean,
Mercedes
oh, sorry, I
3-4.
can't count. It's a 2-3. It's a two
Okay.
three, and then a 6-7. So when you
Yeah,
have four Mercedes crossing the line, how can you be upset?
yeah, true.
Actually, that's why I'm upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm honestly just happy that Verstappen won for once because, like, it's been Hamilton all season, and it gets to a point where it's just boring seeing the same person win all the time, you know?
Yeah, legit, reels getting old now. But at least we're getting something a bit interesting happening as well.
Yeah,
But
true.
the only one who can really, because I feel like I don't think Red Bull's going to be pulling this win consistently throughout. And
True.
Albon is also pretty far back, so I think we're still heading towards a Hamilton and Mercedes World Championship. But
True.
at
Yeah.
least it was interesting. We had Hulkenberg come back. Leclerc is pulling magic out of that Ferrari as well.
Bro.
Bruh. Like, let's just be honest. We watch Formula One for who comes in third, fourth, fifth, We don't care about first and second. Like, that doesn't matter unless it's a non Mercedes car.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, like the front runners are like where the it's really boring. Except last week, I will admit, last week was interesting with all the flat tires. That was nice. That should
Yeah.
happen more often.
I wish, like, what's this? Who's this? Verstappen caught up to Hamilton on, like, the last corner,
He
I wanted
did.
to see what would
Yeah.
Yeah,
happen.
that
No,
would have
when
been amazing.
And Hamilton's actually lucky that it wasn't like his rear tires, because that would have cost him that win.
Yeah, no, if it was his rear tire, he would never have crossed the line as fast as he did.
Hmm.
But you also have to give him props for being on three tires essentially. Like
Yeah.
he bolted to that finish line.
bruh, like, I don't have anything against Hamilton. He's a good driver. I just hate that he wins so much.
Yeah,
So much.
same.
Like,
Like,
And
yeah.
it's not even that he's winning. Like we're okay with people winning all the time, but it's the gap that he wins with. Like
Yeah.
he's just Mercedes is like dominating in a way that isn't even fun. Like when you're dominating, but there's a battle for you to dominate, it's like it's still interesting.
Yeah. And I
But
mean,
hey, what are you
Mercedes
gonna
is
do?
just like flexing on everyone.
Yeah, for real.
bruh, Hamilton just. You know how hard it is to recommend Formula One to someone when there's only one person who ever wins?
Yeah, pretty much.
Legit, they'd have to have like had Formula One be interesting to them before this.
Yeah, same thing. I was actually having an argument with my father the other day about, like, is Hamilton better than Michael Schumacher?
That's debatable, honestly, because obviously now like the the technology in the cars are way more advanced than what it was back then.
Exactly.
if Schumacher was still in a Ferrari now, I'm pretty sure he'd be dominating.
Yeah, no, he'd probably be legendary in that
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Bruh,
I also feel
yeah.
like when you want to compare them, like just the like you said, like the technological advantages, and then just the gap. It's so massive that it's like, how do you even begin to compare them? Because you can't compare lap times, you can't compare like race pace or whatever, because the cars are faster.
Yeah.
There's no way to compare them.
I think like for me, I don't compare them because like what Michael Schumacher done, he had other people challenging him. You get me? Like Hamilton kind of he can do whatever he wants. You know, he's just chilling
Yeah,
there
he's
outside
out at the
alone.
front doing whatever he feels like doing.
Probably jamming out to music.
You
Imagine
know,
on the
apparently
team
you're
radio, they're
not
just playing
allowed to
music out
listen to
there.
music.
What do you say?
You're not
Really?
allowed to listen to music. Yeah,
Oh,
Why not?
well, I guess because
bruh,
of the team radios.
just
Yeah, but it
interrupt
could
my
just cut
music.
out
Like,
whenever like you need to hear something.
Yeah, true.
like I mean, if I'm going to drive for 2 hours straight, I need music.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that it's part of that, like about the competition. Like music would be kind of like a, not
A
necessarily an
boost.
unfair advantage, but it would like give you some kind of advantage,
Yeah.
for concentration or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and for some people, it might just be a distraction.
But I mean, if you don't like it, then you can just switch it off. So if
True.
it was optional,
True.
it's not like it would be mandatory.
Yeah, and I just mean like, wait, imagine listening to like Travis Scott while driving. Like, I'd be, bruh, that just gives me like 2/10 of a second of my lap time. You know?
Maybe that's why they don't let you listen to
Yeah.
music. I don't think I want to be driving with you when you're listening to Travis Scott.
Now that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
No, I'm gonna crash into me for no reason. Like I'm gonna do some late braking on you, and you're gonna get pissed and be like, "Screw this side straight into my rear wheel, spin me out." Nah,
Yeah.
bro.
But
All
yeah,
right, cool.
honestly, I feel like this is gonna be a very similar season to what it was last year. But
Yeah,
mm,
it's giving me like a similar vibe. But for
yeah,
me, what I really like is like the middle pack. What do you call it? The
under the
midfield
podium.
is like a
Yeah,
lot more it's a lot more competitive. So that's what I really watch it for. Like
yeah.
nobody cares about Mercedes at this point.
Because I mean, they're always in front. They're always like winning. So you know.
Yeah, and like Bottas, like I love the nigga,
Mm,
but like come on, like like you need to be faster.
yeah.
Like
And I was saying to
make
Sean
Hamilton work
yesterday.
for it.
I was saying that it's like the Bottas is always like having this, like the team is always like, okay, Hamilton's got this, you can chill, you know?
Yeah, and like with even with his like personality,
Mm-hmm.
like whenever they go into the first corner, like he never challenges. Like if he's in second and unless Hamilton makes like a massive mistake,
Yeah,
he's not gonna like go for it, you know?
yeah, yeah, I guess you.
But I think that's the reason why they didn't get George Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine if Russell was there. Like Russell wouldn't take that shit, bro.
Yeah,
He'd go for it.
yeah, and it would be very competitive, like between him and Hamilton.
Yeah. Like Mercedes is making the smart move,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's not the entertaining move. Like we want to
Yeah,
see problems. We want to see drama. We want to see, you know.
the only entertainment they getting is the commas in their bank accounts, bro. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if they're winning every
Although
single
what's
year,
this?
it's like it's serious bank.
Yeah, but you know, Ferrari gets paid more by the FIA than Mercedes, even though they haven't been winning.
Well, I guess it's because Ferrari's been in Formula One for like the longest time.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why. It's because of like I don't know, it's called like some heritage money or something.
Oh, I
Basically, the
see.
teams that have been in Formula One
Yeah.
for more than I think it's 20 years or 30 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's Williams and McLaren, I think, as well.
Yeah,
Williams,
McLaren
McLaren,
has
and
been
Ferrari.
around forever.
Yeah, but didn't they leave and then they came back or something like that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wasn't really a Formula One fan back then. I still don't consider myself a Formula One fan. I'm just like into racing, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mm?
did I tell you I watched the Formula E race?
Yeah.
Um, don't watch Formula E after watching Formula One. The cars look so slow and it's so boring.
I can imagine because there's like no sound either.
I don't think it's really the sound. It's more like there's no sense of danger. The cars are so
Oh, I
slow. You know,
see.
like in Formula One, you feel like if this man messes up, he's
Yeah.
dead.
It's like, oh shit. Yeah.
But now with like Formula E, you know, it feels like I could jump in there and do that. You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem that hard.
Yeah, true. I mean, I doubt it takes a lot to get into Formula E. Now, with Formula One, you have to go through like all the subdivisions to get to the top, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But the teams are starting to like take basically the rejects of Formula One. It's
Yeah.
gonna sound harsh, but I don't know what to call them. Like the guys who couldn't really make it into Formula One,
Yeah.
they get those dudes because like they're desperate for like any sort of
Oh, I see.
racing. You get me?
Yeah. Makes sense, yeah.
But like honestly, I feel like Formula E should just allow the manufacturers to do whatever they want, like old school Formula One, where we're getting like crazy designs and
Yeah.
you know. But then we might get like a Mercedes 1-2 again, where Mercedes just claps cheeks, just like in
Bro,
Formula One.
seriously. And then they come up with this brilliant design where everyone else is like, oh my god, what is that? And then Mercedes has the upper hand.
Yeah, or like just what they should do if you have like a super dominating technology,
Yeah.
you have to like share it with everyone. Or like
Mhm.
at the end of every season, you have to share like your car. You get me, like
Oh,
what you
like the
designed with the
specs
rest
and
of the
everything.
group. Yeah,
Oh, I see, I see.
that would be interesting because then you'd have to be like creative and you'd have to come up with something creative and clever like every year.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Similarly to how like Formula Drift works. Like they say you can have any car, just build it to a certain limit and you know.
Go sideways. End of story.
Exactly. End of story.
Did you see that they made it like what's this, that electric drift Camaro?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's in Formula D.
Yeah.
It was built to like Formula D spec, but I'm not sure if it competed.
I haven't seen it. Wait, are you talking of the actual like Camaro, the Formula Drift like electric Camaro?
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
yeah, I've seen it. But I feel
Bruh,
like
that's so cool.
you just hearing tires screeching, bro. I feel like the rawness, like you know, you don't get that feel of power from it, even though it's like
Yeah.
probably like really really powerful. But yeah,
Yeah, it's not the same as burning dead dinosaurs.
true, true.
Bruh. But honestly, I think it's like it's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like cool concept, but nobody really cares. You get
true,
me? Like,
true.
All right, cool, man. So that's it for the topics. We're done now. Anything else you guys want to say?
uh, nah, nah, nah. I don't think I have anything interesting to say.
Tune in for our next podcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Come back to the small podcast. We'll have a lot more topics to have. First episode went pretty high. We'll come back with more, better content. We'll keep pushing and see where this goes.
And hopefully it wasn't too cringy. Like, I feel like if this blows up, it's gonna be like we're gonna go back to this and be like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
We have to come back. We have to come back and do like a listen in on our old podcasts and do commentary of
Yeah,
it.
true, true.
It's gonna be so lit.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm going to hate it so much. Like, yo,
yeah, we could.
I'm
Yeah,
cringing
we're going to hate
already.
it for a fact.
But yeah, hopefully this goes somewhere. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.